And we are back. The interesting thing is that this is a little bit of a bug. If you actually leave the area, well, reload it actually, the two sisters will actually move away, so you can actually go over to the side where you normally shouldn't go, because you should actually be able to, because this sister normally, you really can't do anything with this, as you have to beat the sister in the middle to get the item. Well, whatever it is down here. At least to my knowledge. Yeah, there's no item boss. You actually do have to beat the sister in the middle. Not the sister in the middle. But interesting, but this is a bug that I do like. You're supposed to battle the sister at the spot right adjacent to where I am right now. So the sister here isn't programmed to encounter you right here. So you can basically just walk this way, and they will encounter you this way. Yeah, poor programming. I love this bug, and it's just a joy. I discovered that when I first played. It's amazing. I'm honestly surprised a bug like that wasn't found. Of course, using Protect. Yeah, I discovered that, I think it was my first or second time playing while replaying this game, and the first time I played, I didn't know about this place. The second time I played, I actually figured out there was a place back here when I saw the little fenced-in area, and just went exploring, and I found these sisters, and it was pretty much later in the game when I played that I'd pretty much beaten the entire game, and I was like level 60, and these guys were nothing. So when I replayed the game, I remembered this place, came back here. A lot of my Pokemon lost HP, so I had to go heal up. Came back here, noticed this bug, and was just walking around, messing around, and discovered that. It's really weird that something like that, of all things, is in a game that came out as... I mean, this isn't a new game, it's somewhat old, actually, and oh my gosh, stop using freaking Protect. It's not a air-quote new game, but it's definitely not, by any stretch, an old game. It's a DS game. It also was not, a launch title DS game, so it came out not super late in the game cycles, but it definitely wasn't an old game. Alright, so you're probably gonna use Protect again? Yep, for that. I love how just this glitch, it's so just silly, because you can see Heracross just moving. You are so strong, we lost with no excuses. Here, take this. We obtained the Power Herb. Power Herb is... Sorry we jumped you. Never expected anyone to find us here. You sure startle us. I'm pretty sure the Power Herb is... Is that supposed to be in... Oh, right, not medicine. Yes, it is the item that activates if you're using a multi-turn move. So if you're using Solar Beam, you don't have to have a turn of charge up, or conversely, if you're using a move like Hyper Beam, you don't have to spend the next turn recharging. It's an interesting item, and I actually know a lot of people who make very good use of it. It's not exactly the best item for single player, as you can use it in single player, but it does get consumed, so you have to constantly refresh using it, or have Pokemon that knows to move Recycle or something, which you're spending the next turn to get your one-turn use item back, so it's no different than just using the move normally. Well, now that that's all done, we can actually continue back on with the game, and I think that's actually all the backtracking we have had to do. Well, actually, no. That's a bit of a lie, as there is one thing more of backtracking that I have to do. It was in a failed recording. So you guys are going to be seeing this for the first time, whereas I have seen this already. Meet you guys at that place. And now we've finally arrived at the last thing on our backtrack list. The bug catching contest. Those are simple. One of your Pokemon bug catching contest. Give it a try. Yes. You want one Pokemon to use. Yeah, actually I'll use Linear. The bug catching contest is interesting. You can only catch bug types in this, however, these bug type Pokemon are substantially higher leveled than they normally are in the national park. It's a great place to train, and I meant to make a note of it before fighting Whitney, However, the recording that I was going to do that in got lost. So I had to re-record a lot of stuff involving Goldenrod City, and this unfortunately got left out because the day I was recording it wasn't Thursday. Last time I recorded was on Thursday, and this time wasn't the same day, so I just didn't think of it. You're noticing that the bugs are substantially higher leveled, not too much higher leveled right now. These are on the lower end of the levels. There are 3 bugs in particular I want to make a note of, as they are, well, new. Also, one thing I forgot to mention. The other game bug type, so Butterfree or Beedrill, if you could not get them in your game, so you have Weedle in your game and the other game has Butterfree, but you want to use Butterfree for that Compound Eyes Frisk strategy I mentioned, this is how you do it. You get Butterfree in the bug catching contest in both games, and you get Beedrill in the bug catching contest in both games. It's not version exclusive, which is so good. Am I seriously going to lose to a Butterfree? You're an electric type, you should be above getting paralyzed. Oh my gosh, this is so stupid. Paralyzed how many times in a row? Oh my gosh, this is so dumb. Thank God. Thank Arceus above. That should have KO'd. I was going to say, if that does not KO, I'm just walking away right now. This probably is actually going to make it so I can't get to the bug-type Pokemon I wanted to. This is a bit of a compromise between Scyther and Heracross. It's not as good of a fighting type as Heracross, being that this is not part fighting, though it gets similar fighting type moves. And it's not as good of a bug type as Scyther. It does get similar moves, but Scyther has better stats. It's also very defensive, very physically defensive. So it's a bit of a compromise between the two of them. It isn't quite as good in both respects, but it can do well sort of on a team if you don't want to have 2 bug-type Pokemon with double weaknesses. I would say if you want a fighting type, go with Heracross. If you want a bug type, go with Scizor or Scyther. But if you want to have both on your team at the same time, Pinsir is a nice compromise. Scyther. This thing is a powerhouse, as you saw from the battle against Bugsy. Very, very good physical bug type. Very high physical attack, and very good speed. It might look great right now. However, when you give it the Metal Coat to evolve, it becomes even better. Trading out multiple of its weaknesses for a singular double weakness to fire, trading out its double weakness to rock, it becomes the mighty Scizor, having a much higher physical attack stat, gaining a little bit more defense. However, this does come at the cost of speed. I would say overall, Scizor is the much better of the two. I mean, I know a lot of people who say both of them are great, and I do agree, both are fantastic. Though in my personal opinion, Scizor is the better of the two. It has less weaknesses, higher physical attack, higher physical defense, though it does trade out a bit of speed. It can still do a lot of damage as a bug type, however it switches from becoming a flying type to a steel type. It does get some good physical steel moves to back this up, though its speed is not as good as Scyther's. It's also bar none one of the best bug. It's also bar none the best bug type you're going to be getting. And now rounding out our bug types from the bug catching contest, we have Venonat. In comparison to the other bug types, this one kind of falls short. Venomoth is a decent special bug attacker, however, it's nothing close to the likes of Yanmega. It does have good poison type moves it can use that Yanmega can't, however, Yanmega does have much better bug moves. There also are much better poison type special attackers. See Gengar. It's one useful feature that I really wish I should have mentioned before fighting Morty is it can learn psychic moves. It's one of the few non-psychic Pokemon that can use psychic moves and does have a semi-decent special attacking stat. So it could be very good when fighting Morty had I remembered to mention it. However, beyond that, and the next gym, as the next gym is a fighting type gym, which Venomoth does double resist, there's not much place for a Venomoth on your team, and any other psychic type will do much better as a psychic attacker. That's really all the bug types of the bug catching contest, so I will meet you at the end of the bug catching contest, or when I lose, just because I got super unlucky against that stupid Butterfree. See you guys then. One thing I forgot to mention is, if you want to stop your bug catching contest in the middle of the contest, you can just hit retire. I'm just going to do that because I am going to faint soon, and kind of just want to save myself the time. I'm going to do this Pokemon you've caught. We have chosen the winners. This, third place is Bugcatcher Ed, got a Pinsir. Points, Bugcatcher contest, got a Scyther. Of course, one of the bug types I wanted to mention, but didn't. Then got a Whopping Kakuna. Yeah, the way the bug catching contest works is very weird. I'm not going to really go into it because the rules are basically just catch the strongest bug type. If you lower the bug type's HP, it actually does lower your score. It's better to catch one at full HP, which is a lot harder. I don't know if status affects it, but to each their own. If you want to keep doing this, if you want to do the bug catching contest, you can get some good rewards. The evolution stones are rewards for it, as well as the rewards for second place are, I believe, it is Everstone and Citrus Berry are the rewards for second and third place. I don't remember which order it is, but knowing this game, it would give you an Everstone as a second place reward. So third place is probably your best bet if you want to get a Citrus Berry. You can also do the Berry Exchange in Violet City for Citrus Berry, and I personally just prefer that because it's a lot more reliable, as you can just get shards in the Ruins of Elf. After the bug catching contest, I decided to come down to the game corner to play Voltorb Flip. I was here for 4.5 hours, grinding out those 10,000 coins, because I tried to get Flamethrower. Yeah, 4.5 hours for that much. In my opinion, it is worth it, because of how good Flamethrower is, though I had help from an online calculator. Those make this jerkish game mode a lot easier. Moving on, I'm going to go meet you guys back up at Route 38, where I actually have to cover some things I missed. And back. Starting off our counters here, the one that I missed actually was Meowth. This is a SoulSilver exclusive, and honestly, this really isn't too good of a Pokemon in my opinion to consider. It's a normal type, so it learns the typical high normal type move pool, and it does have very high speed, which might be a big selling point for you. The only problem is, even as a fully evolved Persian, its physical attack is a base 70 and special attack is a base 65. There are a lot of better Pokemon that have similar speed but much better physical and special offensive stats, even on the same route. Tauros, for example, has comparative speed but much higher physical attack. Similar with Miltank. All in all, it's not a terrible Pokemon considered for a team, but there are better options if you want a normal type. It might have some dark moves you might want, like Night Slash, or maybe Fake Out if you want to just use that move. Don't know why you would. It's a much better move in competitive, not story mode. But if you want to use it, it's something. I wouldn't typically recommend it, but there you go. It evolves at level 28. Not much. As for some of the other Pokemon that I missed, Entei. The legendary Pokemon we encountered in the Burned Tower's basement. This thing is, oddly enough, a physical attacker. Being a fire type, most would expect it to be a special attacker. It has surprisingly good bulk, despite being a fire type. Most fire types typically don't have the best bulk and aren't typically physical attackers. Entei is, and I would say this is Flareon but better, except in this current generation, it can't get Flare Blitz or Sacred Fire like it can nowadays. There was an event where you could get one with Flare Blitz, however, that is not this Entei. It has good defensive stats, so it can take some hits, and while its special attack isn't terrible, it is significantly lower than its physical attack. If you want to use a physical attacking Entei, you're going to be using pretty much Fire Fang, and that's all it's going to get. Maybe Stomp. But that's a normal type non-stab move, which also doesn't get type effectiveness. So just be cautious when using it, as you're not going to be using a whole lot of moves other than maybe Fire Fang or Stomp. As for the one that is a definite selling point is Raikou. It does the typical thing as you expect of electric types, high special attack, high speed. The The only difference being it has slightly more bulk, well not slightly more bulk, significantly more bulk than most glass cannon electric types. I'd recommend it if you don't have an electric type on your team and want something that has a little bit of bulk to it. Maybe you didn't like Ampharos because it's low speed, and you didn't want a Jolteon because it's too much of a glass cannon. Raikou kind of eliminates both, having good bulk and good special attack, as well as very high speed, comparatively. It's definitely the best of the electric types currently we have access to, in my opinion. Though it is a legendary, it will take a long time to catch. Both of these two legendaries also have a base speed of 100 or greater, and having a speed of 100, and Raikou having a speed of 115, so the fastball does work on them. The Thunder TM we can purchase in Goldenrod City will also work excellent on Raikou, though it will be better with Rain Dance, and Raikou also for the majority of its immediate level up moveset is typically physical moves. It doesn't have a lot of special moves until later levels, where you're probably going to have beaten the game by that point. So just be aware you're going to be using physical attacks for the most part, in contrast to Entei where you're going to be using special attacks for the most part. Kind of reversed move pools, but these also were legendaries that were created before the physical special split came out. Also, there's a new person on Route 39 that we just entered. Boba. Last name Fett. Oh, what is that? What are you holding? Is that what they call a Pokedex? I haven't seen one of those in ages. My name is Boba. Again, last name Fett, or Jenga. First, yeah, miscommunication names up. I used to run a Safari Zone in Fuchsia City, but becoming out of date with the new entertainment options out there, boy, you know exactly how things are. I decided to go overseas to learn about the newest technology and open a state-of-the-art Safari Zone. I mean, Kanto isn't that far across we're two landlocked regions right next to each other. I wouldn't say that's across the sea unless you went to travel to other regions, which, if you do, please tell Pokemon protagonists how to do that. Safari Zone in Cianwood. We haven't gone to a city named Cianwood, or rather a town named Cianwood. I don't think it is a city. Yeah, we haven't gone to a place called Cianwood. There we go. And maybe that's going to be on one of our next stops. It may be more than a coincidence that we were chatting. Why don't you register? Well, it doesn't have the Pokegear. I can call you once the Safari Zone is open before I call anyone else. Do you want to register? Of course. The Safari Zone. This is... We don't have access to it now, and we won't have it... Actually, we will have access to it not soon, but not in a horribly long amount of time. It's extremely useful. There's a lot of Pokemon there that I actually do want to go over, though it's going to be a while before we get there. Now we have reached Olivine City. There's a gym right here. Oh, hey. Tall, dark, clothed, and redhead. You again. No need to be alert. I don't bug with wimps like you. Speaking of weaklings, the city's gym leader isn't here, and is supposed to be taking care of a sick Pokemon at the lighthouse. Boo-hoo. Let the sick Pokemon go. Pokemon can't battle. It's worthless. Harsh, man. Sheesh. Why don't you go train at the lighthouse? Who knows? It might make you a bit of a better trainer. Wow, that is harsh words. And he just leads in the direction we just went. There's no one strong to train against there, so if that's your main goal, why are you going that way? Alright, we have made to the Pokemon Center, and I don't think I need to heal, but I'm just going to anyway. Oh yeah, I did get paralyzed on the previous route. So, our rival has encountered us here again, and the gym leader seems to be, well, absent. Or rather, not absent, but just in another part of the town. City. Yeah. And he did say go to the lighthouse, and I think that's our next stop. But when you're friendly, spend time with him. I expected you to be like your same model or sprite or whatever technical it is person by Union Cave. They can shine like a bright light, like a beacon in the night to guide us. They can take us across the water on their backs when we are without a boat. Is that supposed to be like a song limerick or something like that, or lyric? Because if so, I am horrible at singing. I'm not going to sing that. Pokemon are helping us everywhere. Can't imagine life without them. Wow, you really should be talking to our rival. That's kind of polar opposite characters. What you? Leave the money cost your Tata. Yeah, that's what I mean about the Poke Gear not being useful. They just call you about random trivia stuff. I wish they would only call you about rematches. The person in Cianwood across the sea. I heard him bragging about his rare Pokemon. Might have to investigate some kind of rare Pokemon in Cianwood. Yeah. Olivine is I like Olivine City. I don't know why, just a harbor town. It's small, quaint, little hills. I don't know why, I just like it. It kind of looks like Bill's house. My sister gave me a lot of seals. I believe that Pokemon's name is spelled with 2 E's. Pretty sure at least. Do you have some? Oh, you don't have. Oh, seal. Oh, yeah, ball capsules, right. Whenever I get into trouble, Daddy always scares me. Along the way to Cianwood, there are 4 deserted islands. Bad kids are taken to the islands as punishment. That's dark. Maybe our rival should go there. Alright, let's just investigate some of these houses, see if there's anything of interest. Yes, here you. I think this is the person. Hi, I'm looking for this Pokemon. If you have a Krabby... Oh, no, wrong person. If you have a Krabby, which you can get by now, he will trade you a Voltorb. Voltorb is not the most interesting Pokemon, in my opinion. It's high speed, especially when it's an Electrode, and it does have a good special attacking stat. It is your typical electric type, a lot like Jolteon, though trading for one actually might be a better idea than just going out and grinding for a Thunderstone to get a Jolteon, though it does leave a bit more to be desired in some of its other stats. At the very least, you can get Eevee a lot easier and just get a Thunderstone. Electrode, it does some similar things. It does have the same high special attack, it's similar moves, but its one trick is Explosion and Self-Destruct. A lot like Coughing. I like Coughing that when we went over that in the Burned Tower, it does have that sort of little technique it can do, though tends to not be the best as it's just a kind of a kamikaze Pokemon. Also, why am I just leaving places? Let's see. In the past, Pokemon used to light up sea around Olivine at night. The lighthouse was made to pay tribute to those Pokemon. This is very unsettling sounding music. Considering it's supposed to be like a tribute to Pokemon. People train at this lighthouse. It's not easy to climb up because of all the trainers. Well, we will climb the tower. It's not a battle tower, but it is a tower we must climb. I think this is actually one of the people I was looking forward to encountering. This is no place for playing. Yeah, I think this is the right guy. Was actually... Yes, Gentleman Alfred. Last name Pennyworth. This is actually an interesting character, at least from my recollections of this game, in terms of just he's useful. He is a gentleman class of trainer, so they tend to give out a lot of money when beaten, and his team isn't too terribly difficult to beat. I would recommend, if you're ever in need of money, I think it's him. It's either him or another gentleman also in the tower that you can rematch. If you ever need money, pretty much just rematch a gentleman, or... There's a few classes of trainers that do give out substantially more money than others, and gentleman is one of them, and I know there is a gentleman in the lighthouse you can rebattle, and it is a good money getting tactic. Speaking of money getting tactic, there actually was an item There's an item in Goldenrod City that is also useful for getting a lot of money, though I don't think we have access to it yet. We have to make a bit of story progress to get there. Oh, I can see you're serious. Why so serious? Yeah, 4,400. That is a good bit of money right there. Yes, it is Gentleman Alfred. I remember that because of all the Alfred Pennyworth jokes. Acquaintances, straight phone numbers, most definitely. This team wasn't that hard. I mean, it was just one level 22 Noctowl. No. Men of the Sea are always spoiling for a good fight. I could see that. Plus with all the sailors we encounter. Sailor Huey. Huey Lewis. Power of Love. I was thinking of all kinds of jokes on characters named for this floor. Water Gun. I believe this is also another character you can rematch. They are fairly useful for grinding for experience, though not money, as is the case with Alfred. There we go. Yeah, as you're seeing with I didn't mention this when going against Noctowl. Noctowl is very specially bulky. It has a lot of special defense and a good bit of HP. You saw how long it took to take out with Lanier's Thundershock. I want to get rid of that sound, so I'm just going to switch to Megalon. Poliwhirl. It does animations. Double slap. Is it gonna hit 5 times? Okay, 4 times. And break. Yeah, you're bulky, but not that bulky. You're not a certain bulky water type we associate this game with. Those stats. Just going up by 2s and 3s all the time. That is wonderful. If I first time I've lost in a while, give me your phone number. Fun battle. How the heck have you not lost in a while with a team like that? I mean, no disrespect, but it's pretty glaring weakness to electric and grass. I want to get some improvements. I mean, a team is only as strong as the combination. Now we're actually going to be getting into the bulk of the lighthouse. I personally like the way this dungeon is designed, of course. It's... well, you'll see what I mean later. After that battle, it actually just occurred to me that I forgot to teach Firestorm Flamethrower. Probably should do that now. Teach Flamethrower, yes. Togetic can learn Flamethrower? I mean, in the more recent generations, that could kind of make sense for type coverage, but Generation 4? Really? And then again, normal types do learn a lot of strange moves, as I mentioned with Persian. I always kind of forget Persian, I don't know why. I mean, it's kind of an important character in the first generation's main Pokemon, yet I somehow forget it all the time. Also, I was just checking some things on Mareep. It actually does not learn Thunderbolt like I was thinking. But there was another electric-type move I had in mind that it also does learn, and it does learn relatively soon. So I actually am going to be healing up. I mean, I don't have any healing items. Great. I'm going to be right back.